She thought she was finally safe, but then her husband's car pulled up with his mother inside. The confrontation that followed would leave her reeling and questioning everything. Was this the final straw, or just the beginning of the end? So let's dive right in. Over the past 48 hours, my life has been a whirlwind. It all started when my husband arrived in town yesterday afternoon, and who should be with him? His mother, as if all of us weren't expecting that. When their car pulled up, my mother-in-law was the first to step out. They both entered the house, where my child was with my sister and mother, in my old bedroom at my parents' house. In the living room, my brothers, dad, and I were waiting with them. The first thing out of her mouth was, "Stop the nonsense, my baby is a girl, right?" I stood firm, telling her my baby was a boy, something my family confirmed. Her face fell, and she began to cry, claiming that this child should have been a girl. She went on to say that had she known it was another boy, she wouldn't have treated me as nicely. For a bit of context, my husband has one brother who has finished having kids, and they have 3 boys. I told her explicitly to back off, making it clear this child is mine, not hers, and certainly not a pawn to fulfill her odd desires. My brother intervened as she was about to raise her voice, telling her that such behavior wasn't welcome in our house. He asked her to leave and wait for my husband in the car. Remarkably, she left without even asking to see my newborn son, though she glared at me on her way out. As soon as she was gone, my husband turned to me and, in bewilderment, asked how I could rob him of this special moment. I reminded him of the plan they had concocted, and as the reality dawned on him, he went pale. He started to apologize, explaining that it all was meant to placate his mother and he never truly intended to do it. But when pressed, he flipped the narrative to say, "But I also need support in the delivery room." The room erupted in laughter, much to his dismay. Angered, he demanded to know our son's name and to see him. I told him the name and allowed him a distant view, but he wasn't permitted to hold him. We then talked alone, where I told him I wanted a divorce. He wept, begged, and asked for another chance. I made it clear that my decision was final and that while he was not obligated to support the child financially, our marriage was over. I asked him to return the next day so we could discuss it further. He showed up, eyes swollen from crying, with his mom in tow. She openly suggested he grant me the divorce and forget about the child because he was another boy, insisting he find someone who could give him a daughter. Finally, to my surprise, my husband showed some backbone and asked her to leave, acknowledging the mess she'd created. She screamed, as expected, and stormed out. Through tears, he confessed he understood now just how damaging his mother had been to our family. He pledged, if necessary, to cut ties with her to save our marriage. I told him I needed time to think it over and asked for some days. He's returning to a no-contact situation with his mother, planning to come back in about a week so we can talk things through. Now, while what he did was beyond hurtful, the idea of being a single mom at 23 is daunting. Like it or not, part of me still has feelings for him. And here's what people had to say about it. Can you believe this response? One commenter pointed out the importance of staying put. If you decide to give him another chance, please do not move back to where he lives. If you move back and establish residency there, he can keep you from going back to your parents' house with the baby later on. Right now, since you gave birth in Florida, that's your baby's home state. Stay there. You did a good job of protecting yourself and your baby. Your mother-in-law is a horrible person. Not the jerk. He gave you no choice. I'm sorry this is how your postpartum period has turned out to be. You and the baby deserve better. This one is going to sting. By the way, do these people not realize that it's the sperm that determines the sex? No woman is going to give him a girl. He's the one that determines gender. Finally, a suggestion that might save her sanity. Talk is cheap. Do 1 year of separation, and if in this time he steps up massively and keeps his mom cut off, then you can review the divorce then, not the jerk. It's a lot to process, and I wish she finds the clarity she seeks. So should she give him another chance or walk away for good? If you think stories like this are worth pondering, the subscribe button is right there. I post a new story every day. Hit subscribe if you want to be here for the next one. And if you want more, I just covered a story about betrayal on a birthday trip. The link is online.